She was in human prison for 2 years and never got to go outside or see sunlight for those 2 years. My name is Olivia DiNardo, and this is Tessa's story for GeoBeats. So a goat sanctuary rescues and rehabilitates neglected and special needs farm animals. Tess came from a very difficult background. Her former owner was boarding goats and not caring for them, so they were starving. They didn't have proper shelter. The barn was completely dilapidated. Connecticut has very cold and snowy winters, so she spent a lot of her winters outside exposed to the elements. Finally, law enforcement stepped in and removed the goats. When animals are seized by the state for neglect or cruelty, the owner can either surrender the animals to the state or they can contest the seizure, and in this case, the woman contested the seizure, so they were in a state facility, actually a human prison, for 2 years. They didn't get to go outside for those 2 years, which was really sad. And finally, after the court case with her former owner had been resolved, the state was able to adopt them out to sanctuaries. When she arrived in our care, she was in pretty rough shape. She has very severe arthritis. She also has a heart murmur. One of her hooves was not cared for properly, so it had grown in a very strange angle and was very overgrown, so it was difficult for her to walk on that hoof in particular, in addition to her arthritis. So we've spent a lot of time over the past year addressing her pain and arthritis. She's also an elderly goat, so we have a specialized soft diet for her that's easy for her to eat. We do daily cold laser treatment on her. She's on a couple different herbal supplements to help with her inflammation and arthritis. She was very nervous when we first took her in, but I could just tell how sweet she was despite everything that she had been through and how badly she had been treated by people. She had a hard time keeping up with the other goats. Goats have a very distinct hierarchy within the herd, and anytime a new goat is introduced, that goat can either fight the other goats for a position higher up in the hierarchy, or they can just take the lowest position. Tess decided to take the lowest position. She didn't want to fight anybody, so she had a difficult time integrating with the herd. We have built a separate barn for her and our special needs goats, who are a little bit more at her speed. They're much gentler and aren't headbutting her, trying to keep her away from the hay feeders. So she's come a long way since then. You'd have to be on your toes around goats. My husband and I rescued our first 2 goats to have as family pets. We never intended to start a sanctuary, and here we are 7 years later with 54 animals in our care, but they are definitely the class clowns of the barnyard. They love getting into mischief. They're very smart. We have one goat who is able to undo latches and open doors, so we've had to put specialized latches on a lot of the gates and doors because of her. Tess and I have a really special bond. She will perk up when she hears her name. We love all of the animals that come into the sanctuary, but I think there are particular ones that you just have that instant, really deep connection with. And I definitely felt that with Tess because she does require so much individualized care on a daily basis. You just form a really strong bond through all of that care.